So before we start on the next set of worksheets, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about scales and keys and give you some examples. So we'll start with a tune. This is a polka called We Won't Come Home Till Morning, and I'm going to play it in C major. So here we go. Now, this tune, you'll notice that it ends on a nice, satisfying cadence on C. C is the tonic. And the notes that it uses are C, D, E, F, G, C, G, A, F, F, A, B, G, G, C, C, D, E, F, G, C, G, A, G, F, E, G, F, D, C. So it uses all these white keys from here up to here and from here down to here. And if you put them all in order from lowest to highest, you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, which is the scale for C major. So in this case, this tune not only ends on the tonic, it also starts on the tonic, and the highest note is the tonic one octave above. So it fits very neatly into that scale pattern. And you can do scales in many different ways. You could do a scale 2 octaves. Instead of just one. There's, as long as you're just going up or down by step, that's considered scale-like motion or scalar motion. But when you're looking at a scale in order to get a good sense of the relationships of the pitches in a particular key, the custom is to start on the tonic and go up an octave to the tonic above. So that's what we're going to do for these scales. So I'm going to do another tune in C major. This is a song. This is the melody of a song called The Lark in the Clear Air. So here we go. So let's look at the notes that we use here. We have G, E, C, C, B, C. Let's see if I can do this holding them down as I go. This is kind of hard for me to do. G, E, C, C, B, C, A, F, G, G, A, B, C, C, D, E, F, D, G, G, E, C, C, B, C, A, F, G, G, A, B, C, E, A, D, B, C. So you can see that we use all the white notes from this F up to this G. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But it does come to a nice, satisfying resolution on the tonic at the end of the song. So, la, da, 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 dee, 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 dee. So this tune is in C major. There's the tonic. This one does not start on the tonic. It starts on G. Dee, 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 dee. And it does not fit neatly, within that tonic up to tonic. But if you take these notes, so, there's your tonic. So the first note is the G. The next note is E. And C, D, B, but we'll put the B up here. So you can kind of fit it all, You can take those notes and shift them up or down an octave until they all fit between C and C. And you have the same set of pitches. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So you take these notes and just arrange them between a low C and a high C, because C is the tonic. And you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The same set of pitches that you have for Won't Come Home Till Morning. So those two pieces of music are in the same key. So they share that. They have that in common. There are a lot of different things about them that are not the same, which is why they sound so very different. The one is kind of a poignant lyrical song, and the other is kind of a jolly dance, if you want to look at it that way. But they are in the same key. They do have that in common. So now a key is made up of the tonic and the mode. In this case, the mode is major for these two tunes, and the tonic is C. But we could change the relationships of the pitches to the tonic and change the mode thereby. So we can say, take Won't Come Home Till Morning, and instead of playing it in C major, we're going to switch it to C minor now. See what that sounds like. So it's the same tune. You can hear that it's the same tune, but it does have a somewhat different quality because we've changed some of those relationships. You could also change the tonic, but keep the relationships the same. So we can do that. Let's make this the tonic. So. So there it sounds just the same. It's just shifted up a little bit higher than it was before. So that, in this case, the tonic is E, but the mode is still major. So that was playing the tune in E major. The other instance that we just used, where the tonic was C, but the mode was minor, so that key is in C minor. Let's see if I can do this. Or we could change them both. We could change the tonic to E or to any other pitch, and then change the mode to minor, and you'd have. Like that. So when you understand how all these relationships work, you can transpose a tune onto any other pitch, and you can change the mode if you like too. And let's just for the sake of argument, we'll do that with the lark and the clear air. So here's the melody. So if we change the mode, we can change it to minor, say. So that was C major. This will be C minor. Or we can change the tonic. We'll change the tonic to E like we did with the other tune too. So this would be E major. Or we can change both the tonic and the mode. So we'll do this in E minor now. So that just gives you a little idea of how this all works, the way that you can change the relationships or keep the relationships the same. You can change the tonic and keep the relationships the same, or you can change the relationships and keep the tonic the same, or you can change both the tonic and the relationships to the tonic. And so that's how you would alter the mode or the tonic of a key. So the last thing I want to mention is that the scales we're going to be looking at now are what are called diatonic scales. If you look at just the white keys on the keyboard, you'll notice that you have this pattern where you have a whole step, then a half step, then a whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, etc. So that pattern repeats as you go up and down the keyboard. And as you did in worksheets 1 and 2, you can start anywhere in that pattern and create a scale. You can start on A, you can start on B, you can start on C, or D, or E, or F, or G. So you can start on any of those. And where you start then, of course, alters the pattern within that particular scale of where the half steps and whole steps are. But they all fit into this broader pattern of 2 whole steps, half step, 3 whole steps, half step, 2 whole steps, half step, 3 whole steps, half step, that goes up and down here. So any of those scales, any of those patterns that can fit into that overall pattern are called diatonic. So we're going to be looking at a number of diatonic modes coming up. And we're going to start with major. Major is sort of the default mode in Western music in many cases. And it's an extremely common mode in Irish music. Many tunes in Irish music are in the major mode. And the major mode is the mode that you get if you start on C and go up to C. If you use that scale. If C is your tonic within this diatonic framework, that creates the major mode. And as I've showed you, you can translate those relationships on any one of these pitches. So you could, pick like this note and create a major scale and then play a tune in a major key. Based on that. So once you understand how these relationships work, then you can do all of these things that I just did. Then you can make these alterations if you want. But more importantly, in Irish music, you can just understand, this is really what it means to be in a particular key. It's to have these relationships, to have this particular pitch act as the tonic, and to have a sense of, have the sense of being the tonal center, and then having the other pitches relate to it in a certain way. That's what it means to be in a key. And so the tonic is the tonal center, and the way the other pitches relate to the tonic is the mode. And the tonal center, or the tonic, and the mode are the key. In this case, the tonal center was A flat, so I just played the lark in the clear air in A flat major. So, and you'll understand this a lot better once you've worked out all these keys. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to move on to the worksheets. Worksheet 7.